Boom, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. King of the Ring prediction list. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into day 2. Let's go ahead and get it cracking. All right, so first battle of the night, we have Empower versus Fun and Games. Fun and Games, also, a lot of y'all know, is Twinquinga. So let's go ahead and get into it. So in terms of characteristics and style, so Empower is theatrical, conceited, conceptual, material-based, has a material-based style of Chrome. Then, of course, we have Fun and Games is theatrical, abstract, technical, and heavily style and character-based. Now, as far as looking at these and kind of going back and doing my research for this, so the prediction I have Fun and Games for the win. Now, the biggest variable here, I will definitely say, is the overall mobility and movement capabilities of Fun and Games. Working from all angles, his ability to stack material. He's no stranger to combos and live moments. Now, here's the thing. Empower does bring a lot of stage presence to the battle. I believe that will definitely benefit him, but overall, in some capacity, will have him playing defense if he does not bring the best version of himself. Clearly, movement mobility will not be in his favor, so it's up to him to execute a more strategic route, whichever he chooses. Perhaps strengthening his get off or timing, or basically to diffuse Fun and Games' momentum. Now, I definitely predict this will for sure be I predict a high chance for a kill off in this battle. It's going to be different. I mean, these are obviously two different styles of dancers. Empower, like I said before, brings a lot of stage presence. So in terms of capping or catching a moment and then running with it, he can definitely capitalize on it. But it's going to be his responsibility to make sure that that moment is filled with content. And for lack of better words, like whether that be material or get off, he can't let that moment die down solely based off of character. We've seen him on the stage a couple of times. We know that he's hard hitting. He brings a lot of attitude, whenever he dances and, and battles people. So that's going to be one thing that will definitely work in his favor. So now that he knows that he can do that, he can capitalize on that. The next thing that we need to be looking for is what's in those moments. What is he putting there that's going to, solidify it as a win. Now, as far as, like we said, we have Twinquinga, or Fun and Games, who is extremely, extremely versatile in terms of his movement. Like, it's very abstract. So in terms of like trying to pin him in and like, a particular linear strategic route and how he's going to battle, we have no idea. But the one thing's for damn sure, we know that he's going to bring character, obviously. He's going to use his body, and he's going to use his mobility to his advantage. It's obvious, it's clear, who he's going up against. They've both seen each other. They both saw each other at Rookies versus Vets earlier this year. So now we're going to be looking at a battle as far as styles clash. So I do definitely think overall, I think Fun and Games has the edge here because he can do a lot of the stuff that Empower can do. I don't think in terms of a quick moment does he capture a moment as quick as Empower does. But again, it's been a while since we've seen him. So for all we know, he could have strengthened that get off. Could be going for some kill offs. We never know. But he definitely does have that. He does have that X variable there that could present a definite possibility to potentially get Empower out of there. So like I said, I think it's Empower's responsibility to just be the best version of him. Don't try and, I'm finna hit all these. Don't do that. Be the best you. Beat him at your game. So, but overall, like I said, I do have Fun and Games for the win. But like I said, there is a possibility, for Empower to come back and win that battle. So that's definitely going to be a strategic match between those two. So that's what I have for that particular battle. All right, for the next battle, we have DNA versus Demon. So DNA being more buck and street and live and conceited. I'd take some time out to definitely watch some of his footage. Like I've seen him, he's very conceited, unorthodox, and theatrical. Now, my prediction for this one, I think it's awfully close, and it's a debatable battle, but I do believe that DNA will edge this one. Now, the reason I say that, I believe DNA's experience and no nonsense type style will pull out the win for him. DNA, not that it's a bad thing, but sometimes like when you are a street dancer, like of course, like or more buck based, your style is straight to the point. Like you're about constantly just moving forward at all times. not necessarily trying to be theatrical or show you a bunch of moves and stuff like that. Now, a lot of times we don't really get to see DNA on the main stage, but I do believe that he'll definitely for sure bring a good arsenal to combat Demon's playful stage presence. You know, kind of watching him, like, Demon is definitely, he's a showman for damn sure, and all. So it's one of those situations to where, like, again, I'm not going to try and outperform this cat. Like, and of course, he definitely has the advantage in terms of mobility. Like, watching Demon, like, Demon he does have the athletic capability, which he does have an edge over DNA in that particular sense. And on the flip side, I do believe Demon has the X variable here. He's very unpredictable, clearly a showman, so he can pull off a win. But, you know, he'll have to be on the attack the entire time. I do not predict a kill off or a one round in this battle. Now, the biggest thing here is that, like, I don't know if y'all had the chance to see Demon's KBO battle against Stumper, Lady Khan. But when that man put on that wig, I tell you, like, that was hands down the funniest thing I've ever seen in Chrome. Like, hands down. And the fact of the matter that he danced at least about, well, I think like 70-80% of his round with that wig on, like, that was funny. Now, if he brings a variable like that to the stage, I don't think there's really anything that you can do. DNA ain't, you know, he ain't got nothing like that. But it was still funny. So that shows that, one, you're not scared to take risk. You'll definitely take risk. So I definitely do enjoy that. And if you're labbing the way that I imagine that you are, you know, you bring that potential, you bring that opportunity that you may be able to get DNA up out of there. Now, I ain't knocking it, and I ain't saying that DNA ain't gonna come with it, because DNA is a Southern vet, and he's very street, but he's no stranger to be on the stage. We don't really get to see him like that on the stage, but again, DNA's been in the game for quite some time. He's been there for every single one of our, every single Southern event for the most part. So I don't imagine he's finna come in here and just sleep. And I see, I was talking mess on Facebook. They said he's gonna try and kill you, bro. Like, come on, we gonna have to see about that. That's all I'm saying. So my personal opinion, I think the experience will pull out the win here. As y'all know, I don't put nothing past nobody. I think he definitely can do it. But Demon will have to be he'll have to be different. Like, DNA is not one of the people that's gonna get out there and flash you, or, you know, not flash you, but he ain't gonna show you a bunch of flashy moves and stuff like that. Like, it's gonna be about, I'm finna get off on you, and I'm gonna show you what a real Southern veteran looks like. So that's what I'm expected to see from that battle. So let's see what we got. So next battle, now this one, y'all finna get hella tight with this one. I know it. Y'all like to jump out the window every single damn time. As if it's a West Coast or one of y'all favorite crumbs out here. So the next battle, we have Tiny Eyes versus Judge. So, and I pretty much already gave it away, but Tiny Eyes is a very buck, live, raw, brash, and powerful dancer. Judge is very live, technical, buck, material, and combo-based dancer. Now, like I said, I took almost an entire day to think about this battle. Tough match, but I edged it to Judge. Now, listen to me before y'all go crazy. Just give me a second. Let me explain myself, because I know y'all be acting up. So, my biggest question is for Tiny Eyes. The reason why I favor Judge in this particular battle is because Tiny Eyes' gas tank, or his stamina, just in case you don't know what that means. Now, there's no question in terms of raw, crump, or liveness. Tiny Eyes takes it. I'm not questioning that. If this was a tournament battle, or this was like the first round or something like that, or if they were straight out the gate, I would say Judge is in trouble. Judge, you're going to have to levitate to beat this man. Just being completely transparent. Now, and yes, in the right moment, which this rarely ever happens, but we do see it a lot. In the right moment, Tiny Eyes can have such a strong first round that it makes every other round after that completely irrelevant. And that's both sides. I mean that your opponent's rounds and his second round. His crump is just that potent. Like, the lineage is clearly there. Like, Tiny Eyes you can tell Tiny Eyes that nigga's crump is real, bro. That's all I'm saying. You can tell that. I don't need to go into that. Y'all understand what I'm saying. So, but with that being said, let's look at it from a different spectrum. But often that is a one-shot type of gun. A lot of times Tiny Eyes will have a strong-ass first round, but then his second rounds or third rounds, if there's anything after that, aren't as strong as the first. And that's what raises the question in my mind, is that will he be able to replicate the same level of crump and the same moment that he did in his first round? I ain't gonna sit here in front. Judge, that first round is gonna be scary. I ain't even gonna front. I'll keep it 100 with you. And I pray that you don't have to start it. Okay? It's better if you rebuttal his round than to start it. Because if he gets in there, like I say, you working, y'all both got different tools here. You know what I'm saying? We don't really necessarily see combos and material, a whole bunch of material from Tiny Eyes. But we see that from you. But we see that liveness and that get off and that you know where we going with this. So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's kind of up in the air, and that's why I say like the gas tank is the biggest variable for me personally in my mind. Will he be able to replicate it that second time around? Are we gonna get no jacket Tiny Eyes, or we gonna get backpack Tiny Eyes? Two different people. If we get no backpack Tiny Eyes, it's about to get hot. But if we get backpack Tiny Eyes, he might just be trying to get you out of there as quickly as possible, and it might not reciprocate it. So that's the question I'm kind of leaving up in the air. So in my personal opinion, I think in this particular battle, as I've stated before, I think Judge just simply needs to be the best version of himself. Now, I don't normally recommend it for most people because people get caught up in it, and it's the stupidest thing that you could possibly do. Everybody always, as soon as you find out who you battle, and people go and like they start watching footage. That's the stupidest thing that you could possibly do. But there are some people out there, you just know what they bring to the table. Tiny Eyes is one of the people that you know what they bring to the table. We know what we bring to the table, or what he brings to the table. So my personal opinion, I think it would be in Judge's best favor to show what he does not do. That's not something that I normally recommend. Now, I'm not saying go all the way out left field and try and do that. Like, don't turn into Crush, or you know what I'm saying, or turn into Weapon, get on the ground. Don't turn into Worm on me. Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. Shouts out to those three. But I'm simply saying, like, it needs to be a strategic battle. You need to be watching your opponent and be like, that nigga he ain't doing that. So I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show him what it's supposed to look like. So that's going to be interesting. So I'm personally, I'm not sleeping on Judge. I know how intelligent he is on the dance floor, how strategical he is. So that's why I'm not sleeping on him. So in my personal opinion, I do believe Judge will edge this battle. I do think it is depicted based off of if Tiny Eyes can replicate his first round, or excuse me, if he can reciprocate, if he can do what he did his first round as he did in the second round. You hear what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. So, not saying that I put anything past Judge's crump or anything like that, but again, Tiny Eyes is just one of them people like, yo, if he builds up, or if he hits you like, you know, if he comes with like as a different crumper, then we gonna be in for a long night. It just is what it is. Again, no fakeness, all transparency, integrity. That's what we do here on King Solid TV. So, I got Judge for the win. All right. And I don't predict any kill-offs for that battle. I think both of their opponents are too smart and too stubborn to letting themselves get one rounded or killed off. That's just me. But we'll see. Alrighty, and then we have Tetris versus Brimmz. Another styles clash, which it seems like they all are. We have Tetris, who is buck, gully, technical, and a very power-based style. Brimmz is very conceited, theatrical, material, and has a hat trick based style. Now, my prediction for this battle is I have Tetris for the win. Now, Tetris wins in terms of get off and fundamentals and has a few tricks up his sleeve, which we've seen. So he's no shy. He's not shy to hat tricks or combos and stuff like that. So I do believe that presents him with the safest win. I'm not saying that he has to take that route, but I do believe that's the most secure way for him to win. With that, I do not believe Brimmz will be completely outclassed, with that being said. In terms of presentation and material and tricks, I do think Brimmz wins that no contest. And honestly, I've seen Brimmz on more stages than I've seen, and I'll say, not to knock the East Coast events or anything like that, but I don't see a lot of stages where Brimmz battles, or at least in front of really, really big crowds. Like we've seen Brimmz at the Desert Storm, Rez, Beyond Buckness, a lot of Southern events. We saw him at the Dirty. We saw him at the Real Six. Like, so I've seen him in other spectrums and stuff like that. And I've even seen him in a few tournaments as well. Now, the thing is here is that Brimmz is not scared to take a risk here. And I do think that does present him a window of opportunity here. Now, he is, a little Moody Rex, and we honestly, like, for the longest, like, we've known, like, people have gotten on Brimmz about his get off and stuff like that, or fundamentals. In terms of material, combos, hat tricks, and stuff like that, good on you, bro. I ain't knocking you. Go ahead, that's all me, bro. I put the hat on, take the hat off. That's about as real as my hat tricks get. So, but in terms of, like, if that has always been, dare I say, a weak point or a point in which people try and exploit, I would trust that that would be what he's working on in the downtime, while we're preparing, a month away now from King of the Ring. Because I think you got it sold up in terms of like material, combos, and hat tricks. That's just me personally. So you only have one big thing that, that honestly Tetris could exploit. This crump. So I do think that he has an opportunity to win, depending on like how well presented, his crump is fundamentally, and then how well like he can execute his moves. Again, like I said before, Brimmz does not shy away from taking the risk, and he does have a high ratio of landing his movements. I've seen some crazy ass hat tricks, like some of y'all don't know the Louisiana, the little spider dribble, move that he did. There was another one to where he spun his hat around his hat, made it levitate. Like, not necessarily levitate, but you know what I mean. Brimmz is nice with the hats. We ain't even going to stop playing with me, okay? We not finna do that. So I think it's just a situation to where, what kind of Brimmz are we going to get? Are we going to get a new and improved Brimmz, or are we going to get a hat tricks all day Brimmz? That's my question. Because it's looking like Tetris has almost got this one sold up, if he comes prepared and brings a little bit of creativity himself. So that's what I got. So like I said, personally, I have Brimmz for the win, but I can't count Brimmz out. I can't. That creative lane is too much for me. That creative bag is too much for me to sleep on. So I do believe it will result in Tetris being Tetris having to step it up just a tad bit, personally. Again, I don't think you should ever sleep on people, so that's just going to be the idea here. Don't sleep. You won't get caught lacking. So, yeah. My vote, my prediction, Tetris for the win. So that's what we got.